Okay, great. Take it away, Sister Adrian.
Okay, thank you. Great day and greetings to everyone that's on so far. Excuse me. I want to thank Sister PJ and the Powerful Pioneers for the opportunity to present my business opportunity. And it's not, I'm not gonna say that 50 times, and you know. So my name is Adrian Davis, and I am a financial coach. I work with a company called Primerica Financial Services. And what we do is we educate families on finances. And I'm also going to have my coach on, who's going to be, I'm going to introduce you to, I had told her 11:30 is 11:10, so I'll talk a little bit. And that's not all that I do. I also run an after-school program in Brooklyn, and it's called Good Success Kaleidoscope Kids. And I like working with people. I like helping people. So when I got the opportunity to become part of Primerica, I jumped on it because of the financial education portion. Like with the Smart Money University, we want to educate families on how to make, save, and accumulate money, how to get out of debt, how to become properly protected, and just how to live their goals and their dreams. And along with that, we have the opportunity, I have the opportunity to also invite families to come and look at what I do, but also join my business if they're interested. And this is a great business opportunity because it is a business. We need to know how money works. Most of us don't. I thought I did, but when I came on board, I found out that I didn't. And if we did, we would save more, spend less. We wouldn't say we own things that we pay on, because if we miss payments, we find out we don't own them. So because of that, I wasn't prepared. Like I said, I was going to start at 11:30 because I do have to get off. I have another appointment at 12:15. So if you can give me the opportunity to screen share, Sister PJ?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah.
Let's see if I could do this. Technology, have to learn how to do it.
Yeah. Let me know. So I have it.
Okay,
as well.
Let's see. So I press share screen, and I press this, and I have to press that, and I'm gonna press share. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we see it.
Okay, so I don't know if the other, we have Kaz and hairstylesbyher.com. If you're on, if you don't want to come off your, show your face, hairstyle should be showing her styles. So I don't know. I'm sure your hair is beautiful. And
she just wrote in the chat, so she's here with us.
Okay.
I believe Kaz as well. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to start this this video, and after, by that time my coach should be on, I'll introduce you to her and she'll sum it up for us. So this is a video, and what it does is it speaks to the things that I was saying, talking about how money works. It's about 17 minutes, so it's a good thing I'm starting now. And it's gonna go through a series of things that we probably ask ourselves, or we ask other people, or we work on helping each other with. So some good information. You have any questions, please write them down, and at the end I can answer your questions. Okay, so I'm going to start this now. Oh, wait, did I do? What did I do? Start. I started and I cut it off. I was trying to make it larger. Is that good?
Yes, perfect.
How often do you think about money?
Can you hear it?
When you think about it, what are the first things that come to mind?
No, you have to turn it up, please.
Financially in the future, how much?
No volume?
More volume, yes.
More volume.
Get started back. Yeah.
Let's see if I can make it louder. wrong. Where's my volume? I thought I just had it. Speaker. Come on now. Do this to me. I know you can hear me. Can't hear it, but you can hear me. All right. Let me start this again, okay? So I can get the volume. What happened to my volume? Oh, there you go. All righty. And I need to, what is this? How do I close it? All right. And I'm going to start it again.
How often do you think about money? When you think about it, what are the first things that come to mind? Where you want to be financially in the future? How much you earn? Your bills? Debt? Vacation? Do you think about how much you want to save or invest maybe? Most of us think about money every day. It's not that we're greedy and obsessing about it. It's just that our finances touch every area of our lives. Each of us is making vitally important decisions every day that make us either stronger financially or more vulnerable. The fact is, we are each building a financial house, whether we realize it or not. How you build your house, the choices you make, will determine where you end up financially. The goal of making wise choices is to reach a point where your money one day works for you, so you no longer have to work for your money. That's called financial independence. Ultimately, this is what we all want. The group of friends and colleagues who created this video each have over 25 years of experience helping people to grow in financial literacy and find that independence, and it never stops being inspiring to see it happen. It's not just a crazy fantasy that other people get to live. It's possible for you. Your dollar is just as valuable as the next person's. You can choose if that dollar disappears or if it goes to work for you. And if you make good choices for your financial house, someday you won't be looking to see how many vacation days your employer is willing to give you. You'll be deciding for yourself. If you don't have a plan and are not intentional about creating one, building your financial house is going to be like trying to build a real house without a blueprint. Not good, probably even dangerous, and I can promise you it will not lead to financial independence. And think about it. Most people spend more time planning a birthday party or a wedding than they do their entire financial future. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Your first step to building a better and brighter future is the same as with a real house. It starts with dreaming, finding a clear vision for what you really want it to look like. When you imagine the future of your financial house, what do you see? Do you want to be debt-free? Help your kids come out of college or university without a load of debt? Be able to travel or have a vacation property? Or have enough money so you don't have to even think about it? Dreaming about where you want to be financially will motivate you to create a plan for how to get there. As part of this first step, it's important to discover your financial independence number. It's the most important number in our financial lives, and yet most of us have never heard of it. It's the amount of money you need to have working for you, so eventually you never have to work for money again. Knowing your financial independence number gives you a clear goal or target. If you don't know what number you're aiming for, you'll never hit it. And when you learn your financial independence number, don't be intimidated by it. It's not as out of reach as you might think. Once you know what you're aiming for, construction can begin. Step one of construction is the most important part of a house, a rock-solid foundation. A strong foundation will make sure your house doesn't crumble when hit by strong winds and storms. For your financial house, we're talking about protecting your most important asset, your income. It's your income that builds your entire financial future, and you protect it with life insurance. Auto insurance replaces cars. Homeowner insurance replaces houses. Life insurance cannot replace a life, but it can replace an income. Imagine a couple who has 2 children. Their monthly budget is $8,000. Each spouse makes $4,000 each month. If one of those providers dies, the other spouse and their children are not just losing someone they love, they're losing an income. They now only have $4,000 per month to pay for an $8,000 budget. Now, in addition to grieving the death of someone they love, they're going to have to change their lifestyle in dramatic ways just to make things work financially. When the income stops because it's not protected and the bills keep coming, it leads to financial ruin. Think about how important your income is to your family. An important question to ask yourself is, if you die prematurely, would you want your family to live better, the same, or worse than they do now? Most everyone says better or at least the same, but if you're not informed, it's easy to make mistakes, which is why many of us have cracks in our foundation that we're not even aware of, which puts our families at great risk. Life insurance mistake number 1 is not having any or not enough. Mistake number 2 is having the wrong kind. These are the kinds that claim to build a cash value that can help you save for college or retirement. Many of these policies are very expensive, leaving families underinsured, and they often have savings programs that earn low returns. Life insurance mistake number 3 is the most common. It's depending on group life insurance from your job. Many of these plans only cover you if you are actively at work, and they can be amended or terminated without your consent. Unfortunately, most people learn about this when it's too late. This foundation is the most important part of your house. Once you get it right, you can then go to step 2, the frame. In your financial house, your frame is your spending plan. Most people call it a budget. A spending plan empowers us to start telling our money where to go instead of wondering where it went. It protects us from wasting money and making impulse purchases like gourmet coffee and stuff like that. It's not about how much money you make, but how much you keep. Without a plan, we spend more, borrow more, save less, often leaving us with more month at the end of our money. Get it? It can be very stressful. Most people say they easily waste $5 to $10 a day. For a married couple, that could be $300 to $600 a month. Imagine using that wasted money to instead eliminate debt and invest in your future. For example, what if you freed up just $300 a month and invested it? At a 9% rate of return in 20 years, you would have over $185,000, and in 30 years, almost $500,000. This can be the difference between reaching your financial independence number or having to work for the rest of your life. You can now see how vital this step is. Take control of your spending and stick to it. Now you're ready for step 3, the roof. In a financial house, your roof is made up of some key legal documents: your will, power of attorney, and advanced medical directive, to name a few. These documents are critical in order to protect your assets and, most importantly, your family. You want to get a will right away because if you don't have a will, your government has one for you. You just have no say in it. For example, if both parents pass away and there's no will in place, the government will decide who raises your kids, which is the last thing we would ever want to happen. Another reason to get a will is to avoid a family feud. If you don't have a will when you die, you take the risk of family conflict, creating arguments of who gets what when you're gone. That kind of turmoil can be devastating to families. It happens often, and it's a problem that is easily avoidable. Once you've done this, you can feel good about your progress. You now have the foundation, the frame, and the roof to protect and improve your family's financial well-being. Now you can get to work on the inside of your financial house. Let's start on the first floor, which is your emergency fund. There's no escaping financial emergencies. Surprises are going to happen. A broken down car, a home repair, a trip to the emergency room, or being laid off from work. And most people admit that when their next emergency hits, they will need to go into credit card debt or even worse, use their retirement savings for their emergency, which can be like a wrecking ball to their financial future. Just like an umbrella protects you from getting wet, an emergency fund protects you from that wrecking ball. It protects you from going backwards. Your goal is to have enough money saved to cover a minimum of 3 months and ideally 6 months of your living expenses. If that seems hard to do, you can begin by saving up at least $2,000. Once you pay off some debt or you are earning more, you can go back and finish setting aside the 3 to 6 months of expenses. Now let's tackle the second floor of your financial house. Here, your mission is to eliminate debt. There are different kinds of debt: car loans, student loans, credit cards, and mortgages. At this point in your financial journey, the most critical debt to deal with is from credit cards. Credit card debt is the financial cancer of today. It robs us of our ability to invest, create wealth, and ultimately prevents us from reaching our financial independence number. Did you know if you make a one-time $3,000 credit card purchase with an 18% interest rate with no new purchases and only made the minimum payments, it would take at least 10 years to pay off, and you would end up paying more than $2,000 in interest charges? That costs you 66% more than the item you purchased. That's why this step is so important. The quicker you get out from under credit card debt, the quicker you'll be able to pay off other debt and begin investing much more towards your future. Debt stacking is a simple, effective strategy that pays off debt fast. It's when you pay off one debt and then use those dollars to pay off the next debt and to continue that pattern until you are totally debt-free. And then instead of wasting your extra money, you invest it. You can transform your debt payments into wealth. Debt is the enemy. Defeating it feels great, and it's another vital step in your journey towards financial independence. The third floor is the last floor of your financial house, and it's all about investing. Unfortunately, this is where most people fail terribly. Why? No one taught us about it. In school, we had math, English, science, and history, but how many of us had a class called money? Have you ever been taught about the rule of 72, compound interest, the time value of money, dollar cost averaging, mutual funds? Those are some of the tools that people use to grow their money. When you invest your money properly, it can grow exponentially. Investing the right amount of money over time in the right places enables you to reach your financial independence number. The rule of 72 may be the most important rule in money. It's a very easy mathematical formula that tells you approximately how long it takes for an investment to double in value based on its rate of return. Here's the formula. You take the number 72 and divide it by a given interest rate. So if your investment is going to grow with a 2% rate of return, you can divide 72 by 2, which equals 36, and that tells you your money will approximately double every 36 years. If you see a 6% rate of return, your money will approximately double every 12 years. And if your rate of return is 12%, then it's every 6 years. That is exponential growth that can happen over time, which leads us to what is the most life-changing financial concept. It's something we can all understand and take advantage of: the power of compound interest. Albert Einstein called it the eighth wonder of the world. Here's a real-life example. Let's say you freed up some money using your spending plan and debt stacking, so now you can invest $500 each month. If you invest this way for 35 years at a 2% rate of return, your money will grow to $304,280. At a 6% rate of return, it will grow to almost $716,000. But if you average a 9% rate of return, your money will grow to nearly $1.5 million. That's the power of compound interest. Your money can earn you more money just by being in the right place. The key to harnessing the power of compound interest is getting time on your side. It's called the time value of money. The more time money has to grow, the better. When someone starts investing in their early 20s, they could see a far greater result than if they waited till they were in their 30s or 40s. Ben Franklin once said, "You may delay, but time will not." No matter what age you are, if you haven't started, start now. One day when you have enough money working for you that you no longer have to work for money, you will be glad you started today. When people build a new house, they experience a very special feeling that first night they get to sleep there. It's a great sense of accomplishment. When it comes to your financial house, you won't need to wait till it's completed to feel that way. As soon as you get on the right path, you'll be able to feel the satisfaction of knowing you have a bright future ahead. You'll be able to trade stress and anxiety for peace and security. You'll be providing a rock-solid and beautiful financial house for the people who are most important to you. By getting your financial house in order, you can help your children build theirs. Your smart choices today can positively impact your family's financial trajectory for generations to come. And that impact can go beyond your own family. Something we haven't talked about yet, but is very important, is generosity. Being able to give generously to those in need, your place of worship, your community, or a nonprofit that's important to you is a powerful and rewarding way to make a difference. When your financial house is strong, the impact, your impact, can be that much greater. Here's a great question to consider. What action can you take now to ensure the things you learned in this video get applied in your own life? It's easy to put off, and there's probably never a convenient time, but you're losing money every minute you wait. The clock is literally ticking. And remember, it's not what you know that gets you where you want to go. It's what you do with what you know. You can have exercise equipment in your house and know what it does, but it's not going to change your life unless you use it. Money is the same way. Knowing about it is not enough. You must do something. Right now, you're going to have the opportunity to take action. To help make your choice easier, here are 3 possible paths you can choose from. Path 1, financial blueprint. If you know where you want to go financially, but you're unsure how to get there, or if you're just getting started, you can take advantage of a complimentary and confidential cutting-edge digital tool that will create a blueprint for your money. It gives you simple-to-follow instructions that enable you to do all the things you learned about in this video, and it provides you a personal guide to help you make sure you do things right. By choosing Financial Blueprint, you will soon have a clear financial vision for you and your family, which means you can spend less time worrying about money and more time enjoying your life. Path 2, financial home improvement. Maybe for now, you want to do just 1 or 2 things to improve your current financial house. If that's you, in a moment, you can choose financial home improvement and then check the things you want to work on. Path 3, financial house review. Perhaps you have a pretty strong financial house already, but you wouldn't mind getting a second opinion to make sure you are doing the best you possibly can. Or to see if there's something available now that wasn't available before that might make your financial house even better. It never hurts to explore other options. In that case, financial house review is for you. You can choose whichever path is best for you, and you can make that choice right now. Click I'm ready to take your first step.
Well, okay, that's the end of the presentation.
If you're not speaking right now, okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys, that's the end of the presentation. I see my coach is on. I'm going to introduce her. She's going to sum it up for us, and then we could move forward. If you have any questions at all, I'm going to put my phone number and my email into the chat so that you can direct your questions directly to me. Which path you chose, 1, 2, or 3, we can help you with either one. Because we do what's called a financial needs analysis, and that's an F&A, and that's complimentary from the company. We offer it to everyone, and this will show you where you're going financially. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and like I said, any questions, I'll put my information in the chat. So I'm going to introduce to you now my coach. Her name is Coach Peggy Washington. She's a regional vice president with Primerica Financial Services, and I'm going to let her come to you in her own way. Coach Peggy, you're on mute.
I had to look at the clock. I said good morning to everyone, and then I had to make sure that it was still morning. I've been going nonstop all morning long, and I'm excited to do what I do because I feel that what I do is really designed to benefit our community. profound community. People ask me, what are you excited about? And I say all the time, I'm excited about the fact that I have within my hands, because we can only work with what's in our hands. So I have within my hand the ability to impact poverty in the world. And my general expression is about changing the trajectory of our children. Our children never have to know poverty. So people will say, well, how would you go about doing that? And I believe is through financial understanding, financial wealth building. Also believe that it's about the conversations that we have. We have a whole lot of conversation. We talk everything from religions to politics, whatever. The conversation that we have with our young people, with our children, with our even our newborns, is what they would use to shape. But it doesn't say that you have to be one of them. It doesn't say that your children have to be one of them. And I think if we have the knowledge and we have the understanding of the knowledge and we apply the knowledge, is where we put ourselves in a position to win this battle. We have got to do something to turn this thing around. I think it's with the children. Grown folk are grown folk. They'll tell you in a minute, I'm a grown-ass man, I'm a grown-ass woman. But it doesn't put us in a position to win financially, and it doesn't put our children in a position to understand finances. I think it's time out to stop teaching our children about money through the banks. If you saw that film, if you understand what and how money work, you would then begin to understand that we cannot teach our children about the bank. I don't even want our children to even know that banks exist, other than for a put and take concept. You put it in and take it out to pay your bills. You do not do long-term saving, long-term investments in the banks. I have a disdain for banks because banks have robbed our communities. And I think it's time out for us now to have conversation as to how to turn that around. Because I came in late, I don't know what type of time frame there is, but I'm ready to yield back to the person who's in charge.
Given thanks, since we do have a little time, we're here in this first session until 2 p.m. We do have several speakers, but we definitely are here for this. And I thank you. And again, I'll introduce myself, being that I'm on a different channel on my laptop. The background situation is not working, so I had to switch to my cell phone. But I am, excuse me, I am Pajani Fleury, and I am the founder of Smart Money University. And myself and Brother Rojo, founder of Powerful Pioneers and the Powerful University, we welcome everyone, and we thank you for that amazing presentation. Thank you, Sister Adrian. You shared your number in the chat. So please do reach out to Sister Adrian. And also, since I don't see your name displayed, I apologize. What's your name?
Peggy Washington.
Abby Washington. Yes, I see that. Okay, great. Yes, I thank you for that information. That's
Peggy Washington.
Peggy, thank you. You're so right in terms of the bank. I was telling my father that my son is not going to know anything about banks. Right now, the young people, it's just so natural for them to say, cash at me, Zelle me. I was even just, going to make a purchase in the store, and I pulled out my phone and I checked my bank out real quick. And I'm like, how did people bank before this? Like, I don't even understand. But I do it, I remember my mom balancing the checkbook, and everything like that. And that was a whole system. But right now it's a totally new system, with the Cash App, with the app. It's so immediate. You can look and see what you have, when you have it. You have so much more control over what's going on with your money right now, through the use of technology. So just, naturally makes sense that things will progress and mean different things. And I've heard, a few different arguments about banks and what they mean to our people and what they mean, for us moving forward. And with so many options right now, we shouldn't be pigeonholed, and we shouldn't be just going with the flow. This is the information age. We need to ask a lot of. So if anyone has any questions, I do encourage you to ask. Please utilize this time. This is the health and wealth fair. This is actually part 2 of this series that we're doing. We're talking about wealth in relation to health. You know, our health is our wealth, right? In the sense that one, and a few reasons why. One, in the literal sense, you want to be healthy enough to get wealthy. Like it takes a, you don't have to be physically well, but something about you has to be well. Mentally, you have to be creative, have ideas, and be in a space where you can manifest those things and prosper as a result. But you also want to be healthy enough to enjoy the prosperity. And then moving forward, when you think about things like life insurance and what we call real life insurance, you're taking a health insurance out on your life. And they will they test you, right? And make sure like you're in good health. If you're doing it as a young person, right? You go through a health screening and they say you are a healthy person, we'll insure you for $1 million. So very literally, you can see that protecting your health, because I know that people, if you're a smoker, it kind of takes you off the list. Like that kind of like puts you way down on the rank. Like, okay, you know, this person might not be you know, in the same place as someone else that doesn't smoke, who will have a longer, healthier lifespan. So it's really important on many different levels that we are paying attention to our health, that we are putting ourselves in a position to learn about what makes us well and healthy people, what makes us a whole person. We talk about holistic health, right? And how we translate that into prosperity. So I thank you. And if anyone has any questions, I'll open up the floor now.
Mr. Pajani, can I just say that also what we look at is how money works. I mean, there are many ways that you can handle the money that comes to you, the money that comes into your hand. If you work on a job, then you don't necessarily control what they take out as far as Social Security and for your health program and all that kind of stuff. But what you get in your hand, you do control. So if you understand how money works, you saw that equation that was on the video that talked about the rule of 72. You got to understand that money only grows according to the amount of interest that it gets. So if you put your money where interest is being made, then you are in the ball game. But if you put your money where money is not being made, it's just a holding place, which is what the banks are. It's a holding place, but they hold your money and then they send it out and they invest your money. And then the interest that comes back comes to them and they give you less than 1% on the dollar. Mm. So as long as you understand that it's how money works. It's how money works. It's like, how do I grow my child when I have a child? How do I grow? What's the best way to grow that child up so they understand all facets of life, that they understand it all, and they're ready to go into being adults in life because they've been trained how to do that to the best of their parents and institution that the parents allowed them to go to have done. But if we have conversations with our children about money, we have conversations with our children about alternative to how to make money. I believe that entrepreneurship is one of the greater ways to make money in this country, because entrepreneurship puts us in a position where we can win because we make the decision as to how. But we got to have that knowledge and we got to have that understanding, and then we got to put action to it. It's one thing. Somebody said knowledge is power, but stops there. I said knowledge is power. We apply action to that. If we apply action, it's like prayers. You're praying, but you don't have any legs on your prayers. Prayers just hitting the ceiling. But if you put legs to your prayers and you set goals, self. You begin to understand what your goal is in life. What is your mission in life? Why did the Lord put you on the wake up list this morning? Why did he say, okay, Peggy Washington, get up and go forth and do the things that I've charged you to do? Why he about? So I'm real excited about what it is that I do and the people that I do reach, and they do understand. I use myself as an example. I use my children as an example. I have 4 beautiful children who are all grown at this point in time. They're all entrepreneurs and they're all financially stable, if you want to call it that, at their ages in life. If they continue to do what they're doing now, by the time they get to be my age, they will be wealthy. Now, I'm not wealthy by no stretch of the imagination because I didn't get this information earlier on. I got the information later, but I have given this information to my children and they're now becoming those examples. So I know that what I'm talking about works. I know it does. We're not selling no puff powder or anything. We're selling reality. So if you know how money works, and if you understand that money only works according to the interest that you get, then you'll begin to win at this business. You begin to win at becoming wealthy and just generational wealth. Our children have to be given a chance. With post-pandemic, we don't know what it's going to look like for our children. They're not being educated properly. What is it going to look like for them on the other side of this, whenever that other side comes? We don't even know when that's going to be. I'm very outspoken with stuff. Hey.
I have a question. My question has to do with debt. I get a lot of emails from companies talking about consolidating debt, like they'll give you a loan to pay off all your debt. So what would y'all say about utilizing that option?
Adrian Davis?
What I would say about that is if you're paying your bills, I would go with the debt stacking, because you're taking another loan, even though they're consolidating, it's another loan. And I don't know what the interest would be on that loan. So maybe let's say you have 4 credit cards, or you have 4 credit cards, and you're paying your debt. So I would just continue to pay my debt. And once you pay off, and how we design it is that you pay according to the highest interest rate. So then you pay that debt off. And once that's paid off, the money, so let's say you're paying $50, $35, and $40. Once that $50 debt is paid off, you apply that 50 to the next debt. So now you're paying 100 on that, and just keep doing that. And you'll find that you paid off. You don't owe anybody anything. And at the end, you have your money. Now that's what I suggest. So I don't know what my coach would say.
Yeah, no,
take another loan.
That's very much accurate. But one thing that Adrian said that's critical, she said, if you are paying your debt, if you are, even if you are eking out a payment more than the minimum payment on that debt, that's a good thing. But if you're a person who is drowning in debt, I'm saying don't drown. Don't drown. You can't win if you're dead. Don't drown in the debt. Consolidate the debt. We do debt consolidation. So consolidate the debt, get from underneath the debt, and then you should have a lower payment for that loan. You set a date when that loan will be paid off. You put that they put that loan, we do what's called financial needs analysis. Those are computerized documents that take a look at where you are financially. And we show you how to better spend the money that you're already spending. So everybody, that's a free service. But we don't charge anybody for anything anyway, but that's a free service. It'll churn out you about 28 pages that take a look at you where you are financially and put you on the track to becoming debt-free. To tell you the year that you'll be debt-free, the time that you'll become debt-free. And then we talk to people about how when you make extra money, apply the extra money to where you can get out of debt totally, even with that loan.
Okay. Thank y'all.
You're welcome.
Hi, Kazimbe, how are you?
I'm fine. Good to see you.
I said, Kazimbe.
I co-sign all that you've said about your extraordinary family, and I'm so happy to see how you've put that entrepreneurial bug into them so that they'll be doing better for the future. And I hope to get that myself.
Absolutely. I've been doing Kazimbe when we were boycotting downtown Brooklyn.
Freedom, Coach Peggy. How long have you known Kazimbe?
I've been doing Kazimbe since he was a little boy. Thinking that he was a grown man. from the Black United Front days when we downtown boycotting against the killing of a young man by the name of Randolph Evans. Remember Randolph Evans?
That's right.
And we shut the city down. We shut it down, and so much positiveness came out of that organizing that we did. So it's good to see you, and I understand that I'm going to be with you on November 6th as well. Am I frozen?
No, not now.
No. Okay. All right. So it's just good to see you.
Thank you. It's good to see everybody.
Good to be seen.
Adrian.
Good to be seen.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Yes. So I have always been interested in the fact that money is so complicated. Like, oh, like money is so complicated. Like if certain circles you grow up in, certain cultures, you see, people get paid, they get their check and they go and they either cash it or put it in the bank, and then they take and they buy the groceries and, different stuff and gifts and essentials, and, they put some away, and, when they retire, they buy a car here, and you just think that that's money. That's money. You get it and then you spend it or you save it for something else, but you use it. I had no idea the level that money goes to, the debts. And it's a very complicated thing. And this is something that I think is an injustice in America, to have such a complicated money system. And it's not just here, all over the world. Money has become more and more complicated. And then you want to throw in cryptocurrency on top of that, and what they call money instruments. This is when you're not even talking about money, you're talking about instruments, okay? Mm-hmm. And you would think that they would want everyone to be educated about that. Right? You would think that they would want everybody to know how credit works, how, stocks and bonds and, the stock market and investing in these things, because that's what brings wealth, right? That's what brings innovation and growth in a society, right? That's what moves things forward. Because even myself, as an example, as a publisher, I need capital. I need money to do the. If I'm printing or I'm putting on online, which is cheaper, there's still a cost in there, right? Entrepreneurs know, money to make money. So you would think that you would want people, your citizens, to understand everything there is to know about money, so that they can best maximize on it and bring the whole country. I mean, this is a competition, right? This is, what I am, gathering, that they, want to have individuals that are innovative, that are bringing new ideas. They want to be exporting new things all the time. So why are so many of us in the dark about money?
Great question. Great question. Great question. And I think it's a great question, because you have to look back at the society that we live in. Mm-hmm. They say that there have to be poor people. Poor people have to exist, because that's how the larger population, the capitalist population, that's how we make money, on people being poor. So how do you change that dynamic? How do you change that? At one point in life, every time I turned around, I would park my car and I'd come outside and my car be towed away. Then I have to go now and take money to get my car out from the thief that took that. They stole my car. So now I go and take money and give to them so they can give me back the car. So my husband said to me, he said, but why do you keep parking your car where it can be towed? Why you keep doing that? So stop doing that, and you'll stop feeding into that economy. Stop doing it. It's like a bell went off in my head. They can't do it to you. You allow them to do it to you. You sign contracts that allow them to do it to you. Change the dynamics on that. And that's why I say it's always about a conversation. That was a conversation my husband and I had, that a bell went off in my head, because when it got told, I had to call him to come and give me the money to get it out. So he said, well, why do you keep doing that? Learn how to do it differently. Learn how money works. And then when you learn how it works, you adopt the concept that says, I save as much as I spend. I don't tell people not to spend money. It's a joy if you have it to spend it, but you got to save more than you spend, because saving it means that you will have money for later. And that's how you eliminate the poverty out of your life. Understand, number one, how it works, that it grows according to the amount of interest that you get. And then you understand that I got to put away more than I spend. I used to tell my children when they were growing up, if you want to buy a pair of those sneakers, I'm not going to tell you that you can't have it, but I am going to tell you that you got to earn the money for it. You got to earn the money. You got to do a chore. You got to do something that's going to put you on the other side of being able to buy that without your mama or your daddy giving it to you. And that's how I raised them. And now they understand the concept of money. My son, the one that Kazembe knows very well, he's a film producer at CUNY University, CUNY TV. And because Kazembe was on his show, there was an excellent show, Kazembe. I went back and I looked at it. Excellent show. And he understands. Now he's in the stock market. We talk about the stock market. I tell my team, I tell my agents all the time, it's one thing for you to give people the information that we have, but it's another thing for you to use the information yourself. And then you pass along what you know. You're not passing along a theory, you're passing along what you actually know. And that becomes very, very important. So if we know better, as Maya used to say, if we know better, we should do better. Some of us know better, but we still don't do better because we don't feel like we have it within us to do better. So my conversation is, this is how. I think that people don't progress financially because they don't have a coach. They don't have someone that teaches them how to do it. And that's why for me, it's about the conversation that we have with people. And I think that's how we learn and grow. Did I answer that question for you?
Yes, absolutely, because this is how, this is the situation now. We don't know about it. We need coaches. We need knowledgeable people. And I'm so grateful to the Powerful Pioneers Network and the network that I've been building with Smart Money University that has come from my my parent company business, Brown Eyes Company. I've worked with so many great individuals in different sectors and different respects. And I've been able to draw from that and bring the network together for Smart Money University. And this is what it's about. Once we do have the knowledge, we can encourage each other to really apply it. And I think that's the most important thing about having a coach, because you can go on the internet and read all about it. But if you don't have someone that has done it, knows how to do it, you'll come up against, some obstacles, because it is, a complicated thing if you just want to jump into it like that. So having a coach to really guide you to understand all these different things. I mean, you mentioned like at least 6 different services that you offer, and I know that there's more. So I think it's super important that we're connecting to the right people, our people that have our best interests to help guide us through this process and get our knowledge as we spread it through, our larger communities. So I thank you for your dedicated. You ladies are amazing, and we have some other amazing people. I would be remiss if I didn't shout out Brother Raymond, who is very knowledgeable about this topic as well. He's one of our featured presenters in both universities, and also Brother Murray, who will be joining us soon. He talks about credit, and we have the same conversation. Like, credit is super complicated. Like, why are you sending that to people at 18 years old? I mean, I have a stepson, and he's 19, and I'm like, I know, this is my, a child that I know, and I'm like, this child should not have a credit card. I say child, 19, you could do a lot of things at 18, but I don't think credit should be one of them,
Exactly.
And there is no training. If your family, your support network doesn't take the time, and if they don't understand credit themselves, to really help you to understand and navigate to use credit wisely and use it well, because that is something, and Brother Murray's going to come on and reiterate this point, not only for personal, but for business as well. It's an instrumental tool. It is so helpful when you think about building things. It is one of these things that provide capital. So once you mess it up, it's like, there's so many complications that you run into later on. And so that conversation needs to be had. And at a class, we've even talked about, these are things that we should be advocating to be in a college, course, even if it starts off as an elective, but it's so the amount of information associated with just credit could be a whole major. It could be a minor, concentration of a finance major, or a business major. Credit is not just a piece of plastic that you swipe. It's very complicated. There's 3 different bureaus that monitor it, so it's a whole thing. And we really need to be knowledgeable about it and use it wisely, use it well, use it to our advantage. And we can't do that unless we really know about it. So Brother Murray's going to come on and talk about credit. And we're going to keep this conversation going so that, again, that everyone has this information. This is why we are here. And I invite you ladies also to be a part of our network, be a part of our community. On smartmoneyuniversity.org, you can set up a profile. And that is helping us to build a community. It's just like a Facebook, like a mini Facebook, and you can put your picture and links and everything there for other people to share. And they can ask you questions, direct message and all that great stuff. So please do that. And I invite everyone to create a profile on smartmoneyuniversity.org. You can go right there on the homepage and click on login or sign up. And each time when you go back, you just sign in right there and continue to add to the conversation, continue to add to the support, because this is really, really what we need. So we give thanks again. So I'm going to transition. We have another speaker who is going to present their business and their information. Sister Victoria, are you available?
Yes, I am here. Thank you. Greetings.
Greetings. Take it away.
Yes, folks, I'm so elated, so grateful to have heard the conversation this morning, because when you talk about smart money, being smart with your money, when you talk about entrepreneurship, when you talk about stress, all those things are things that I know about for one reason or another. Once again, yes, I am Victoria Falk, CEO of Passionate Travel Incorporated. And I call my travel business an accidental blessing. Yes, because after 17 years of being a social worker, I had the doctor look at me and tell me that my job was killing me. See, I lived what I thought was a healthy lifestyle, right? I didn't do all the things that people, say, don't do this and you'll be healthy. But I didn't realize that taking in negative information day in and day out, I didn't realize how that was affecting me until I started getting muscle spasms in my back, and it felt like someone was punching me. I used to get the sharp pains on the side of my neck, and I used to walk hunched over, like I couldn't even stand up straight, and I had an irregular heartbeat. And it was one day the pain got so severe, I actually crawled out of bed. When I say crawled out of bed, yes, I crawled out of bed, got to the phone, called the doctor, I need to come. She hooked me up to all type of machines, right? She took blood work. So Ms. Falk, I can't find out what's wrong with you. We check your blood. We don't see any illness. Then she said the magic words. She said, tell me about your day. Smart woman. As I started telling her about the woman who wanted to kill herself in front of her 10-year-old son, the woman who was in my office who threatened to kill myself and my staff, the woman who was on top of the roof with her 7 children because she had been evicted from her apartment and was threatening to jump off the roof with her children, right? So as I was telling that story, the machine was going, do, 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 beep, 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 the alarm's going off. And that's when she said, your job is killing you. So I was blessed, competing with the New York City noise. I'm sorry, folks. But I was blessed to be able to learn to travel by just taking a vacation for myself, taking a vacation and experiencing the release, the thrill of relaxation, mental clarity, right? The joy, the happiness of being away. There's something powerful about being near the beach, being in the Caribbean under the sun. And I started seeing those changes within myself and got all excited about it and wanted to share with other people that I was able to turn my tragedy into a triumph, to start my travel business and to do retreats, wellness retreats for people and having them experience different things and having them to release the stress. So when you're talking about the need to get smart with your money, the need to learn these things, I know the experience of losing someone, right, who had a massive heart attack due to financial stress. No physical indicators, but the stress of not having enough money. When you talk about entrepreneurship, I had that job from age 14 until 40 when I retired to do my travel business. And it's a beautiful thing to have been able to retire at an age where I have life in me to run on the beach, to ride the horse, right, on the beach, to go zip lining. So the stress that we experience, right, from the finances not being right can kill you. The stress that people experience in relationships, whether it's marital relationships, whether it's parent-child relationships, those affect, right, how we're feeling, how we're managing our overall well-being. So I'm so happy to tell people about travel, because travel is the world's largest industry. Even during the pandemic, yes, people were traveling. Black and brown people, us, right? We were traveling, risking our lives during the pandemic to get a deal off an airplane ticket, risking our lives because the hotels were cheaper. How many people I had during this pandemic tell me, I'm scared to fly, but it's $30, so I'm gonna do it. I'm scared to take this trip, but the hotel is giving a discount, so I'm gonna do it. So I wanna show people how travel can be part of your lifestyle. Because like I said, we are the biggest consumers. We are customers, and it's great. I'm happy that you were traveling, right? Because a lot of us were traveling and it helped to keep us sane, right? Being able to experience different things. And when you travel, not only does it help to reduce your stress, but it makes you sexier. It makes you more fun. It makes you more creative, right? And it helps you to get a greater perspective on things where you're able to interact better with people. So if you are on this line and you were traveling indeed, that's awesome. But the travel that I'm talking about is how to have ownership. Because if we're going to be smart with our money, truly smart, we want to be able to get more of it. As that customer, you're paying for that trip. You're paying. You're getting a receipt, right, for your purchase. But as a travel owner, that money that I spend for the trip, if I spent any money, it's an investment. It's an investment in me. It's a tax write-off. So showing people how to do things in a better way that brings more money to them. How many people are going to travel during the holidays to connect with family and friends? Do you know that your family is a group trip? Do you know that instead of everybody paying full price, that you can take ownership of a travel membership and organize the family getting together where everyone is getting a reduced rate to go to grandma's house, to go to auntie's house? You know how many families have not seen someone because they're saving up? I almost cried one day. I had a gentleman tell me that they were trying to have a family reunion for the last 2 years, and the matriarch was in her 90s, and the family was trying to save up for 2 years. And I said, brother man, why you didn't just call me? I'm telling people how to do these things. So wrapping it around what you're already doing. Travel might not be your passion, but if you can use the money that's earned from people who are going to travel anyway and wrap it into what you're already doing. How many people know a church that can use funding? Do you know that you can use travel and trips to provide fundraisers for churches? Do you know that they have cruise lines that have fundraiser dollars already in their budget to give to churches and nonprofit organizations? How many people do events where you need meeting space? You know, do you know that as a travel consultant owning the package, that a lot of hotels will give you the free meeting space if you have the sleeping room? You know, how many people, we spoke about school, right? People who are in college. And when you talk about smart money and talk about debt, one of the greatest things, the biggest issue has been that student loan debt, right? And you spoke about getting credit cards. I remember being 17 years old on a Delphi University campus and somebody saying, sign this, we're gonna give you a credit card and a free t-shirt. And all my friends and I, we there because we getting our free t-shirt and a credit card. But me and my silly stuff, I'm like, but hey, I don't have a job. How am I supposed to pay this back, right? But see, they didn't care if we had jobs or not. They purposely sought us out as students because they knew we were silly enough to sign, right? And make our credit bad to get a t-shirt, get a duffel bag, whatever it is. But through the blessing of this travel business, do you know how many young people have started at age 18 and have paid their college with the monies that they earned from putting together that spring break trip, helping people get home for the holidays, right? There's one gentleman, he was in the travel space from age 18 to 25, just to pay off his college. And unfortunately, his mom passed, you know, while he was in college. He was able to use the money that he earned from his travel business to help pay for the mom's funeral, instead of the family having to go knocking door to door asking for a donation, you know, like a lot of people have to do. So when I talk about travel, I talk about it with excitement because it's not just something I sell, right? It's something that's a part of me. It's something that saved my life, being able to change my lifestyle to be healthy. Those spasms are gone. Heartbeat is regular. Sharp pains, gone. I look younger now than I did 20 years ago. So I talk about travel as a way to improve your health, your life, your happiness, but also as a way to have that income. Because like I said, if you're going to do it anyway, why not earn the income from it? Because you're the one that's telling everybody, oh, I had a great trip, right? So when you post that picture from your great trip, guess what? Your friends are going. They're going to that restaurant you ate at. They want to see the show that you saw. But because you don't have ownership in anything, you're not benefiting from it. And when we talk about wealth for the next generation, there's nothing like being an entrepreneur with a business that has residual income that you can will to your child. So for my 18-year-old daughter, when she turned 18, she put together her first group trip with her travel business that she got as a birthday gift, right? And God forbid if something were to happen to me, my business is willable to her also. So I want to leave you with the thought that, you know what? I like to travel. Let me see if I can own this. So we have a 30-day trial period where people can actually learn about the travel industry, get access to all the websites and training for one payment of $79. I have 13 years experience and I can teach you, I can get you connected, and you can actually earn income during that time. You earn while you learn. And if you want to continue further, I'm able to show you how you can actually purchase the travel program. So that's what I want to leave people with. Why not? Why not you? Why not you enjoy a great vacation that's going to change your life, change your well-being, keep you happy and productive? Why not invest in a business that's going to bring you residual income? And I think one of the things that helped me a great deal to become a full-time entrepreneur, I was a supervisor. I was, like I said, I did social work for 17 years, but 8 of those years I was a supervisor. So a lot of my friends thought I lost my mind when I told them I was leaving my job to be a full-time entrepreneur. They said, oh, but you're a professional. You went to college all those years and now you're going to do what? A business, travel? You crazy, girl. I got a job I said, no. See, when I was that supervisor, I had a director that would hand me resumes. When people like you guys went on your lunch break, here, Miss So-and-so is out to lunch right now. I need you to interview for her position. I'm like, what? Mr. So-and-so, he called out sick today. So I got the resumes. So we're going to interview. It got to the point I would not leave my desk, y'all. I made sure. They was like, Miss Falk, you going out to lunch? I said, no. He said, why you not going out to lunch? I said, because I learned that you all use lunch break to have the interviews for people's jobs, people out enjoying their lunch, not realizing that you're looking for somebody to replace them. I said, I said, I'm going to sit right here at my desk, eat my lunch. So I share that to say that job that people say is stable, it's not that stable. No matter how great you are, no matter how well you work, don't wait till you lose your plan A to think of a plan B. And I'm so grateful for the time. If you want to learn more, it's partnerwithus.today. Thank you so much for the time and allowing me to be a part of the conversation. If anybody has any questions, I'm glad to answer.
Okay, sis, thank you so much. Oh,
I have a question. What did you say was that contact info?
You can reach me directly. The website is www.partnerwithus.today, TODAY. And if you want to call me directly, it's 1-800-890-7492. And like I said, for $79, you can experience the travel industry. It's a 30-day introductory period. Because what they're hoping that you'll love it. That you'll pay that $79 and you say, oh, this is great. And that you'll want more. But if for whatever reason, you did the training and it wasn't for you, you're always able to cancel.
Thank you.
All right.
Greetings, everyone. I don't have a question, but I am going to be leaving the session. I didn't just want to get off without saying I'm leaving because I have another Zoom at this time. So I will be back this afternoon, this evening. So thank you, everyone. I'm looking forward to doing business with you.
This is Empress Lou. Can you give that website once again, sister?
Yes.
Traveling.
It's www.partnerwithus.today. It's PARTNERWITHUS.TODAY. I'm going to put it in the chat now.
Okay, Pajani, I'm sorry, I have to follow Adrian. We're on the same Zoom, but I would love to talk further about.
I got a little frozen there. But yes, I did hear you want to talk a little further. So do I. So we will definitely connect through Sister Adrian. Thing. Okay. I wanted to that travel is a really special industry. Now, oh, thank you. So it is in the chat as well. Victoria's information shared with everyone, the number and the website. And I wanted to ask you, with your program, is there a monthly like minimum or a charge, or is it just a one-time $79?
So with the $79 for the 30-day training, for that full 30 days, it's just the $79. Now, after the 30 days, if you wish to continue, then there is a monthly charge. So the
Okay.
company has two sides to it. If you just want to focus on travel, you can focus on just being a travel professional and booking trips, doing group trips, individual. And then they also have the marketing side. If you want to earn income from referrals, you can do that. So some people choose one or the other. For me, since it's my full time, I do both things. So after that 30 days, well, with the $79, you get access to 2 websites for the customers to book travel. And you also get your own wholesale travel website where you can book your own travel at low cost. And they also give you an opportunity to earn income from recruiting. So you experience all the different parts of the business. Now, when the 30 days is up, if you just want to say, because we have some people where they already have their main business that they focus on, and they use this to earn income from referrals. So it would be $19, $19.95 a month, just to have access to the videos and be able to earn commission from referrals. Now, for people who want to actually do the full travel program after the 30 days, they have one option that's $299 and another option that's $499. And what that does is it gives you those websites that I spoke about. And the difference between the $299 and the $499 is the $499 gives you a written guarantee that when you purchase your own travel, that it's going to be the lowest rate, lowest online rate. And with that guarantee, if you find it cheaper somewhere else, the company reimburses you the difference in rewards credits. And you also get unlimited personal concierge service. So, you know, a lot of us are busy and some of us just don't want to do it. So you have someone else to kind of help you along the way to book your travel. And then they have a monthly subscription fee. It's $99.95 for each month, every 30 days. And what it does, it goes into your vacation vault. So it's like years back, they used to call it Vacation Club, where they would take it out your paycheck to pay down. So they call it Vacation Vault. And then when the 12 months come, you get to pick a 7-day vacation for yourself. So it's like putting your vacation on layaway. I have one lady on my team. She is so excited because she is using her 12-month anniversary trip to go to the Maldives. You know, I have another one of my friends, he and his wife went to Bali, you know, with their vacation rewards trip. So, you know how somebody might work a job for years and years and years, and on your anniversary, you're hoping that they'll give you a cake, you're hoping you get a card and balloon. So with the travel space, when your anniversary comes, you get to pick that 7-day trip.
That's so cool. And so let me ask you, in terms of this whole thing, like what you mentioned, I know a lot of people, actually my cousin went to Puerto Rico twice, you know, and like in the span of like a few weeks because the tickets were cheap. And I'm like, man, it's been so long since I went to Puerto Rico, and you popping back and forth like you done went to Canada or something. Like, for real. He was like, yeah, I might go again. But there's this, you know, obviously, you know, about traveling right now. What do you tell clients, or like what do people need to know right now, domestically and national travel?
Excellent question. And that's something that I do. Like, I don't just book the trip. You got to hear the speech. You got to hear me tell you about the Lysol and the microban and the mask. And see, and I'm smiling because there's some things that I've seen during this pandemic that actually made me cry. Like, I seen something, the little video, it was a lady, a single mom with 6 children being kicked off of a plane. because it's the little child didn't want to wear the mask, the face mask. And I was cried to tears and I said, why didn't somebody tell her? Like nobody told her. See, that was the benefit of having a travel professional. So a lot of my friends who thought I was crazy to go into travel during the pandemic, they were like, are you still in business? Like, are you really, girl, you must be lying. I said, no, you don't understand. Because it's the pandemic, you have people that normally know how to book for themselves that are saying, hey, I'm gonna call Victoria because I need help. Things have changed. So that's the first thing that is important for people to know. Like, it may be some people who have not traveled in a long time, and because the prices dropped a little bit and they have these, incentives, they say, okay, let me try. But you do have to know what's going on. And one of the things to know is that, things have changed, and don't assume that because one hotel has a certain rule that other hotels have that same rule, or because one car rental have a rule that others. A lot of these places are operating, with their own independent thought. So domestically, a lot of the places, they do want you to have the face mask, and it's the face mask covering the full nose and the mouth. And if you don't have the mask like they want you to have, so you have some people, they put the bandana, or they have like turtleneck thing coming up, they can deny you travel because that's not what they consider the appropriate face covering. So fortunately, a lot of these places that have their particular requirements about the face mask, a lot of them do have extra masks available to give to people, but you don't want to be in that situation, where you're losing out. Now, some places in the world, I know like Israel at one point was requiring vaccinations for all visitors. But the reality of it is the world right now understands that everybody's not going to get that corona shot, and so they have allowances for the people who have it and the people who don't have it. So with the car rentals, the cruise lines, the buses, it's all different things. Now, if you are traveling and you have health complications when you're not able to wear that mask for the full duration of your trip, it is not recommended that you get on that plane, because that's one of the strict requirements. They will kick you off that flight. So if you have health problems where you can't wear the whole thing, consider driving. Car rentals have gone up like 60, 75%. A lot of people just take it to the road because you can be in that car, you can have your mask off, you can be free. If you get one of these buses, you have to have that mask the whole time. If you get on that Amtrak train, you gotta have that mask all the time. And because you have a breathing problem or any type of problem, no, they're telling you, if you have health problems, please delay your trip. So they're really not allowing allowances for that. If you have small children, 2 years old and up, they are requiring that mask. So if you have to travel with that child, like practice with them, before you take that trip, getting them comfortable, get them the cute little mask with the little animal figures on it, something colorful that they can have fun, in. And if that doesn't work, consider a different way. Now, if you have to take the train and you have a small child with you, I suggest the sleeper cars, because when you're in that sleeper car, you just have to wear that mask while you get on the train to get to your individual car. But once you get in there, you take your mask off, do whatever you want to do. So as far as domestic travel, they're not so much asking for the vaccinations. It's more so some of the airlines asking for the COVID tests. They want you to have the test within 3 days of your travel. But it varies based on the number of cases. So when the number of cases go up, that's when they start to say, oh, we need to test, we need to see that you're negative before you get on the plane. But when the numbers seem low, they don't make that fuss. So it's very important for travelers right now to be flexible, because when you book your flight or you rent your car, whatever it is, it may not have been a requirement. But because the news has changed, you can have your trip and now it's a requirement. I went to Costa Rica last month and there was a couple that missed their trip because JetBlue sent out an email 2 days before we were scheduled to leave saying, if you do not have the COVID tested with proof that you're negative, that you cannot get on a flight. And they were out in Pennsylvania. I was trying to tell them different places. They could not find a place that did the rapid testing. And I felt so bad for them because that was, the trip was paid for, So another thing I suggest to people, I tell them, when I'm booking somebody's trip, you call Victoria for Travel, I'm looking up the new cases to see, if there's a chance that you're going to need testing or not. And also, you have to be prepared for those monies, for those testing, because when you go to these hotels and they say that you have to get tested, it's not always free.
Oh.
Some places are asking as much as $150. That's how they're getting you when it's international travel. So you can't assume that it's free. And then also internationally, some places are asking for travel insurance. So when I went to Costa Rica, I had to purchase traveler's insurance just in case I got sick in Costa Rica. And they charged me, it was about $80 for a test. Yeah, in order for me to get back on the plane.
Wow.
So when and then these are things that you really have to know. And some places want you to quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why, like I said, business has actually picked up during the pandemic because people want to know, but what's the rule for this place? What's the rule for that place? I had a friend of mine, you mentioned Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was really strict for a while during this pandemic. After they had to ease up because they couldn't make any money. But at one point, I had a friend who wanted to go with her husband, and she was only planning on being there for about 4 or 5 days. But the rule when you got to Puerto Rico, you had to quarantine for like this long amount of time. So I told her, I said, do you know you don't have to quarantine the whole time you're on your trip?
Oh, wow.
She said, what? And I said, yeah. So it's just, my advice is letting people know that it's not one overall general. Each destination has their separate rule based on how they want to handle, the situation. So just be prepared for the changes, carry extra monies with you, let people know where you are, and be as cautious as possible. I can say that for Costa Rica, it was about 30 of us on that trip, and blessings, everybody got back to their destination safely. Nobody got sick, from COVID or anything else for that matter. So you can travel safely. You can have a great time traveling. It's just knowing the rules for where you are. Definitely.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's really important because that's what's really gonna sustain the travel industry, I think, because people are always going to have to travel, right? Even if it's for, bereavement or, whatever, people, it's a global world right now. And, people are traveling more than ever, and,
Yes.
stop that.
Yes.
So it's really about the knowledge, and, we thank you for doing the knowledge and understanding this whole, shift in the industry. and can be there to educate us and, help us through this process. Is really important. And so there's trips and tours that Powerful Pioneers has put together, has sponsored. So I'm sure, actually, I might just want to mention that real quick as we're on the travel topic here, because I'm sure people may have questions about that. And just like you said, just wanting to get out into different parts of the world. I didn't get to go on tour. However, I benefited from the Powerful Pioneers being on tour, where people, bookstores and other locations are holding my books, and people have been able to be exposed to my material, my work, that I probably wouldn't have been able to connect to if pioneers did not go on tour and understand how important it is not to just stay in your own, comfort zone, in your own little, bubble. How important it is to really get out there and really stretch out your network, put your tentacles out there. That's how I felt. I felt like I had tentacles, and it was really powerful. I really appreciate there's people willing to travel. Some of the travel happened last year, and it was safe, and it was just very successful. Especially for me as one of the products that was taken out on the tour. So there's 3 wellness tours coming up. And I don't know if Brother Rojo wants to jump in on this, but I'll just mention that October 22nd to the 24th is the DMV and Virginia area. And on November 19th to the 21st, the Houston area. December 17th and to the 19th is the Orlando area. So there are Powerful Pioneers in each of these locations, and give thanks to the tour again that there have been new pioneers that have joined the network. Some really just things that we were not expecting to be connected with. And so it's really powerful that we have these different areas that pioneers are strong in. And so tours allow for different communities to do those areas and really reap the benefit of those locations. For example, in the DMV areas, co-founder of Powerful Pioneers, Sister Abby Knights, who is an author, motivational speaker, and a certified doula. And not only is she a doula herself, but she's a certified I want to say educator of the doula practice. So you can become certified through Sister Abby. So all those that's interested in understanding what it is to be a doula and want to become certified, that's the trip for you, because you can definitely connect with Sister Abby one-on-one and really get to understand, what's motivated her to be a doula and to want to spread that knowledge to others. And of course, there's spas and special presentations, opportunities to vend, and opportunities to connect with business owners there, to maybe put your product there, expand your services to that area. So definitely, I would take a look at all of these trips that are coming up, all of these, what we call the wellness tours, but it's actually health and wealth tours, because there is a component there to support the business. And Victoria, how many people travel for business, right? Yeah, and especially now, that's something, even right now in New Jersey on November 6th and 7th at the New Jersey Expo Center, I believe it's in Edison, New Jersey, there's a huge women's expo going on. So there are tons of things still happening in person. Actually, New York and California, one of the only places that's doing indoor, like with the vaccine, the mandate with theaters and things like that. That's really, really happening in the bigger states. The smaller states, that's not really happening. So I actually had to look up something for Vegas and realize that there's more states that are not mandating that are, like some states have even ban has gone so far as to make sure that there are no vaccine mandates at all in those states. So those are definitely really great highlights to check out. And what I like to call, get into a staycation mode. We don't always have to leave the country. You don't even have to leave your city sometimes. There's so much to do right in your own backyard if you really, pay attention. So domestic travel is great. I encourage it. And especially by car and by Amtrak, like you mentioned, Victoria. So this is all really great stuff. Please reach out to Sister Victoria, and some other pioneers have joined under you, right? And so you can go to them as well if you want to book your trip with the wellness tour. Can you tell us who? I know, I believe, let me not call names. Let me know who's officially, been certified with you, sister.
Well, you know what? I've got a lot of great support. I've got support from Brother Duke, from Sister Neat, from Sister Empress Blue, from Sister Latonica, and just want to work everything in there. Because I know Empress, we had a chance to speak the other day, and Sister Latonica, and they don't realize it yet, but we're about to do a serious retreat. You hear me, Empress Blue? Serious retreat. I'm putting it out there into the energy field. So you have to accept that it's going to pass you by, but we're getting ready to do that serious health and wellness retreat.
Yes. I will definitely try to make that one, because it's all, for me, it's like the health and the wealth is like all tied into one. When we talk about retreats, when we talk, just even what you said says that travel saves you. From someone, I'm Haitian, but for someone that is from a Caribbean nation, who I love going there, and you think about all the things that has happened for those spaces, and other spaces like that are beautiful, great weather, to really deal with so many of the challenges, because people want to go onto those places. When I am in Haiti, I remember I went there and I spent a month there, and I came back and people were like, "Oh, you need to go back. Like, just stay there, because you look great. You look different." I came back looking like a different person. I felt different. Having that salt water on me, girl.
Yes. No, you're hitting it. Let me tell you, when I was in Costa Rica, my niece, now before I left, I was having trouble contacting her, but she saw me on Facebook, and she reached out. She's like, "Auntie, that's you, Auntie." She says, "Oh, you look precious. You're smiling. You're glowing." Like she was so amazed to see me having fun. She's like, "But look at you. Look at your sketches. Where are you?" Like, oh my goodness. But like you said, when you go to the islands, the air is different. The sky is like a natural detox.
It is. Really is. I try to get a little bit of sand when I go to the beaches, and you bring that back and you can exfoliate your skin with that. That's the most natural, skin exfoliator that you're gonna find. So it is amazing. I encourage everyone, reach out and get you something. You gotta get something, whether domestically or international. Get you some vacation in your life if you haven't already done so. All right, so give thanks. Anyone else had any questions, comments for Sister Victoria? Any questions about our wellness tours? Don't let me start calling on people now. I won't call on you not. That's cool. Please do share as you would like. We do appreciate you all being here with us today. And we're going to keep the conversation going. Brother Rojo, are you on the line and in the mix? Okay, I don't think he's on the line or in the mix right now. So we are going to keep the conversation going. I'm going to present a little bit about Smart Money University and the many things that we do. This is our course catalog. And our tagline is work smart or go home. Work smart or go home. This is, you know, one of the reasons why we made this tagline is because is you know, people always saying, you know, you want to work hard, you got to work harder or go home, you know, work hard. And it's really not about that. It's really about working smart, and working smart, even, you know, with a person that is an entrepreneur like myself, wearing many hats and things like that, it can get stressful. It really can get stressful. So we want to have the wisdom to know, okay, sometimes you got to go on your spa day. Shout out to Brother Rojo. He is always talking about that. You got to get your spa day in. Don't forget to get your spa day. And so we do that as well. I wanted to mention that as well. There's spa days locally here in the New York and New Jersey area. And I believe we do that at least once a month, and we try to get it in twice a month. So please, if you are interested in that, you can follow up with that. And this is a concept that we got from another brother, Dr. King, who's always talking about, you know, revitalizing the body and the mind to, you know, continue on the journey of entrepreneurship. There's a lot of things that you come up against, that you experience being, you know, and so, excuse me. So it's really important to always be replenishing, always be replenishing. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry. Have I been on mute that whole time? Should I take it back, or did you hear me?
I hear you now.
Okay. Did you hear me when I was saying about the course catalog and working smart?
Started and then you went out.
Okay. So yes, but in that respect, this is Smart Money University. If you haven't done so already, our website, smartmoneyuniversity.org, is where you can get more information. This course catalog is kind of like our highlights, the featured courses, and we have 6 featured courses. Of course, one of our main courses is the Alkaline lifestyle and the business basics, run by Brother Rojo, again, founder of the Powerful Pioneers, and also the Wellness Ministries. Powerful Pioneers is broken up into different ministries. So within the health and wellness ministry, the Alkaline lifestyle is really what is spoken about. And we have this course, a part of Smart Money University, to go beyond just the information of the Alkaline lifestyle. We want to understand how that can lead into a business, how that can translate into a viable business. And we have many examples within Pioneers of that, of course, with Brother Rojo, who learned the Alkaline lifestyle himself and has been, you know, catering. He's been providing not only amazing alkaline food, but also tonics and different supportive drinks, supplemental drinks, womb tonic, the prostate tonic as well, up into, you know, fun things like coquito, CMOS coquito, and just all these things that you can do within the business, wellness, tours, and retreats. That's all a part of being able to use and understand the information about the Alkaline lifestyle, because it's not just about the diet, about eating and drinking, ingesting things that are alkaline. It's about a whole lifestyle that's supported for that effort. So learning the alkaline lifestyle and understanding how that can translate into a business. So that course is $599. You learn the alkaline lifestyle that consists of balanced diets, naturally sourced and nutrient-rich supplements, alkaline water, and more. Build a business by teaching the lifestyle to others. So that's also another aspect, becoming a health coach. And we have a very successful health coach, a part of Pioneers. Her name is Kathy Ramos, and her business is Exuding Wellness. And she is just an amazing powerhouse. She does massage, she does cupping, as well as she has a whole product line, she has a parasite detoxer. She has mud clays for the face and skin. So she has a beauty line, a detox line, and also helping with losing weight and all of these amazing things. And she's really a great powerhouse and a great health coach. She has many clients and doing very well with the alkaline business that she has built. And I believe some of the things might not be all alkaline. I think especially with her food prep and things like that, there are one or two non-alkaline options there. But overall, she is following the alkaline lifestyle and imparting that to others. And it's really powerful. And her business like shot up when the pandemic, especially when it first hit. I mean, her business it was doing well before, but it just grew exponentially. So it's really amazing. This is something that is not only needed for our community, the more people who understand the alkaline lifestyle and is able to spread it to others, that's how we are collectively going to achieve wellness in our community, right? We want to achieve wellness. We want more people to understand this information. And it's really about getting exposed to it. You know, some people are just not exposed and don't know anything about the alkaline lifestyle, but it's definitely taking off now. I was even listening with some people. We were in a car and they were playing Hot 97 and they were advertising alkaline water. I'm like, oh, sure. Okay, the home of hip hop. Well, not alkaline water. Okay. And so that was amazing to hear. I'm really happy to know that there's a lot of progress happening in that area. But health is the number one topic right now, and is certainly going to be the most dominant industry moving forward. So then that brings us also to the doula certification, which is $699. And this certification allows you to be a doula for pregnant women, pre and postpartum, of course, supporting women through the whole journey of birth and new motherhood. Also, other featured courses of Smart Money University that I mentioned before with our brother Murray Allen is the Credit Building and Restoration for Personal and Business. That course is $399 at this time, and it is geared towards really understanding credit. So in-depth, comprehensive understanding of what credit is, how it works, and how it can benefit you, but not only personally, in terms of like wanting to buy a house and, you know, getting car loans and things like that, but also how you can use credit to build your business. And that's one of the ways that many people have built their business, a little kept secret, but you do have to be in a position where your actual credit is good and good standing in order to qualify for business credit. So it's all these nuances. We should have Brother Murray on maybe in our evening session, but I don't believe he has joined us here yet for this session. We are here till 2 p.m. So we'll see if Brother Murray joins us and gives us more of an in-depth overview of his course. And if you want to tune back in tonight, 8 o'clock, same link, we will have that. Another featured course is Restaurant Management 101, and it's presented by Kevin Starks. Kevin Starks has over 35 years, like almost close to 40 years experience in restaurant management. He's actually founded a few systems where, if implemented in a restaurant, it really helps to just, streamline everything and build success. And he's done this many times. He's worked with Diddy. He's worked with Sylvia's, of course, the famous Southern food establishment in Harlem. He's worked with Marcus Samuelson. He's worked with Melvin Van Peebles, which is actually one of his first clients, one of the first people that he worked with. But he has a long list of folks known, in and out of the restaurant world and in the entertainment world as well. And this has been a part of the restaurant community in New York City for close to 40 years. So this is a person that has tremendous knowledge on, how a successful restaurant is run. And he says he could go into a restaurant and within 30 seconds, he can, realize the gaps in which, the production is breaking down within the whole restaurant and how to fix it as well. So he's like a restaurant fixer. Really important course, especially in this day and age when a lot of restaurants need to shift and really understand proper management. That course is $4.99 and it's ready to start in December. He wants to start these courses in December. So there's plenty of time to sign up. And it is a really, really, comprehensive course for anyone in the restaurant business, or if you're thinking about opening up a restaurant, it might be good to take this course beforehand to really understand restaurant management. Our next featured course, Tax-Free Income and Winning Money Strategies, and that is presented by Brother Raymond G. Moore. He's the founder of vestbest.com, and he talks about tax-free income. That is like his niche within the financial industry there. Very knowledgeable about many different things when it comes to finance and business. But he focuses on tax-free income because he feels that there's a lot of things that happen. Again, taxes is one of those things, right? Really complicated, really complex. But there's a certain way to make sure that you're not feeling the full weight of taxes, tax codes. There are many ways that you can reduce the amount of taxes that you're making, and not to, be, like just running away from taxes or anything like that, but to make sure that you're only paying your fair share. Because obviously we know, and it's been in the news lately, that there's a lot of ways that taxes work for, different type of people. There's different ways that you can set up your money through money instruments or through different types of accounts that will allow you to pay less taxes. And this is something like you know that there's these secrets of the rich and things like that. These are one of the things that was called into focus around Donald Trump and, how much taxes he pays and whether or not it's illegal. And it's completely legal, right? So why not you spread this message to our communities so that we can understand taxes and understand how we can pay our fair share and nothing more. So that's a really, really interesting course, really instrumental, especially for entrepreneurs. For those who have a home-based business, there's over 250 tax breaks that are eligible for people who run a home-based business. So really important to know and understand. This course is $4.99. And Brother G. Raymond is just the most fun, the most jolly, most exciting presenter that you're gonna take. I mean, he's playing music. He's, just giving you a whole vibe. Is a really great course. I highly recommend it. And our last featured course is Learn the Art of Vending. This is the course that I present. It is a course that I created when I was founding Smart Money University as a whole, because I was looking at, the other courses that are out there, the other platforms that are out there. There's a lot of master classes, a lot of training and things that are happening because people are shifting to entrepreneurship. and wanting to know more about business and wanting to sharpen their skills. And I wanted to make sure that Smart Money University had unique courses that you weren't going to be able to find anywhere else. And this is one of them. You're not going to find find like a comprehensive course on vending anywhere else. There's a few YouTube videos and things out there, but vending is so important to entrepreneurship. I mean, to business, because even if you have a storefront, you're stationary, and vending allows you to come out of your space and meet new people. Because if you don't do the right marketing, or you don't have enough foot traffic in front of your storefront, you might not get as much business as you would like. And really getting out there and connecting with people is the best way to build a business and to build a brand. So I encourage anyone that's in business to learn what vending is. And we're talking about the type of vending where you come to an event or to a space. It can be indoors, outdoors, and you set up a table or you set up a display. In my journey as a new business owner, when I first started vending, I did not know what I was doing, and I'm just thinking, hey, you just put up a table and put some stuff on it and, you're good to go, right? I was so wrong. There was so many things that I experienced and so many things that I had to learn along the way. And I knew this would be a very unique course for Smart Money University, because there is nowhere else where you can go and learn how to vend and learn the art of vending. Because I observed master vendors, and there's a certain way, there's a certain formula, and if applied, you become a very successful vendor. Everybody knows that vendor that it doesn't matter what the event could be, 2 people at that event, they're leaving happy because they made money and they made connections, and they at least walked away with content for their social media or for their website, because every time it's an opportunity to display and talk about your business and put your business, put your brand on display. And what does that mean in different areas? And it can be used so powerfully. So we all know those vendors. We always see them because vendors kind of run in the same circle. And it's like, why does this person always make money? Or why does this person always leave happy? And then you see the vendor that always leaves upset. That vendor that just cannot sell nothing. There is a certain formula that when applied, will help you to be that master vendor, to be happy and excited from when you get to the event to when you leave. And there's nothing better than that. We just had an amazing event, and we had vendors. And even though myself, I didn't fully set up as the organizer, it was just a really positive experience, and so much came out of it. And I actually was able to move my products in a powerful way. And, if I not had that, there's, just every time is just a different opportunity to meet new people, to meet that person that you really connect with. And I really connected with some great people who really appreciated my work. And it feels so great every time, doing that. And I just want to make sure that everyone gets an opportunity, every business owner gets the opportunity to feel that and to get that one-on-one connection with consumers, with the community. So that course is $4.99. And those are all our featured courses. We have a lot more courses available. Everything is on the site, and you can go to smartmoneyuniversity.org and apply and sign up for all the courses right now. Everything is available. And I think that there's going to be a shift here coming up with this, holiday season for those who celebrate it. As a business owner, I'm always keeping my eye on, this is the end of the year. These holidays is the busiest season, right? It is, the season where people are really, thinking about what they're going to buy. Right? This is the season where buying is on the mind. So it's my favorite season. I always get really excited, and because this is when you do your deals and your specials, and there's, even more opportunity to vend, and you're just like really out there. And so there's obviously, everybody knows, like there's this crazy like situation happening with the cargo ships, and there's going to be a lot of shortages of goods coming up, right? So this is the perfect opportunity for you to gift a course, give the gift of learning and growing with a community that really cares, because we are all here. We're not just talking about smart money, right? We're talking about health and wealth. The conversation is different here. You know, we're not just here to just give information and get something from people and run. Smart Money University has a community. Anyone can sign up. It's free to join. You don't have to take any courses. You don't have to be engaged in any of the services or business opportunities, to just be a part of the community and do what we're doing here, really connect and share information. And it's just a great way to get more, right, out of the experience. Because even with taking a course, all of the course presenters are on the network, on the website, and you can follow up and ask more questions, get more help, get additional help if you need it, and also help your classmates. So this is, you know, very different from any other platform that is out there. And we are here to build a powerful network and assist each other. And this is why I'm a powerful pioneer, and I have gained so much from being a pioneer. I'm supported throughout, you know, all of my businesses. I think there's a pioneer in like all of my projects, you know, and I really feel the love and support. And several of the presenters of Smart Money University are pioneers, and myself of the Powerful University. There are unique courses to the Powerful University, one of them being our book and author club. So it's a course wrapped up into a club, because not only are we supporting the authors that are among powerful pioneers by way of bringing out their books to different areas, like on the tour, my book got into 4 different bookstores around the country through the Powerful Pioneers tours. So we really encourage authors to be a part of the club, of the book and authors club, and also just being a pioneer, because it's a very powerful network to see. You can send your book out across the country, and you don't have to be there physically. The network really works. The network works for you. And we're not only with the book and authors club, not only supporting aspiring authors with information on how to go about publishing, but how to go about marketing and going farther and understanding how you can vend with your books, how to really connect with people in the communities by vending and bringing your book out there. So everything, you know, ties in together and supports one thing after another. You know, we want to get into the Alkaline lifestyle class, you know, get some vending assistance, so that when we get that great product line together, you can go out and really make a difference. So there are so many ways that you can be involved in what we're doing with both universities. So I encourage anyone that wants to be a presenter, of course, if you want to be a student, and give the gift of learning this year as well. Don't be afraid to give this information, you know, buy this course from someone, or suggest it as a gift. And someone say, oh, I don't know what to get so-and-so. Please do encourage them to provide. If you know that entrepreneur needs support anywhere, you can definitely give the gift of learning, so that we can all grow and prosper together. And it's just so amazing. I really appreciate being a part of both of these platforms and creating things like this. It's been an amazing journey, because so many powerful people have information. And I'm glad Sister Adrian came on and presented before, Sister Victoria, and all of the presenters just have such, you know, just a wealth. And I give thanks for people like that, that take the time to be masterful in their own industries and impart that and want to give that to people. So I know that there is a few things that I left out, and I I want to talk about them, but I want to make sure that others are getting the opportunity to speak. So if Brother Rojo, if anyone else would like to speak right now, want to give a comment, have a question, I'll open up the floor as I grab some information. Giving thanks.
Well, I wanted to say something. This is Empress Blue, Healing Sound Vibration. Hi, everyone. Hey, PJ, my big sis. I am always overwhelmed when I get on these informational calls with you guys because it's so informative. And our community is lackluster when it comes to information. We have learned, it's not because we don't want to learn, it's because we have learned to just be dictated to. And what a beautiful time this is right now, where we're starting to come out of our shell and do the things that we've always wanted to do. And even in looking at our vision and having our dream and having the balls, the kahunas to, follow your dreams, where do we go for the information? It's been hidden from us for a reason, because like the other sister, I believe it was Sister Adrian earlier said, they need the poor people. If you think about us like the Matrix, we're the batteries, and the negative energy gives the positive what it needs, So we have to become the positive at all times so that we're drawing from the negativity and not and allowing the negativity not to matter in the way it's been mattering in our lives. We have been the negativity, and our energy has literally been stole from us, sucked from us, from being taught from the cradle to the grave, the bullshit. Really, I mean, those of you that don't know me, I say it raw because that's how we need to hear it. This is the time of truth. This is the time of enlightenment, and it's such an honor to see my sisters and my brothers rising up and basking in their own divinity. Because we had like the Wizard of Oz and Dorothy, we had this in us all along, and each one teach one. So before we were knocking each other off the cliff, I wanna be first, or pulling each other back in the barrel. But now what we're doing is we're reaching our hand out and pulling us up in love and giving us that which we've always needed, So it's an honor for me just to be invited to a platform like this, because it's only going to elevate me, mind, body, and spirit. And seeing my brothers and sisters in such an elevated state of being means that I am seeing myself in that elevated state and being. So thank you so much to all the presenters and all the speakers for the information that you've given, because the information is priceless. We get on these calls and we don't see a lot of people, or we, people might have missed it and they're so nonchalant about it. But believe and trust and know that the ones that are on the call are the leaders. And the leaders have to get it first. And once the leaders get it, the others will follow. And when they follow, they will have people like us in place that's going to give them the support, the love, the spiritual support, the overstanding that is lacking in our community. So thank you guys so much for the healing that you've given me here today, for the information that you've given me here today. And I just look forward to moving forward in this state of vibration, and climb that, what did Fat Joe say? All the way up. Our music, on the way up, I'm trying to go as far as the spirit will allow me to go. And with people like you in my pathway, I'm destined for greatness. So I love each and every one of you with one perfect love. PJ, you already know, girl, you all up in here, And to Sister Victoria, we already spoke, and I'm definitely getting down with the get down, sis. So thank you guys. I love you guys. And yeah, let's keep doing what we're doing. We're changing the world. And that's not a small thing. It's an amazing, magnificent, long overdue thing. So yeah, one perfect love, y'all.
He said, Give thanks.
Empress Blue, peace, peace.
Yes.
Salute, PJ, giving thanks. I'm out here doing the wellness work, doing this health and wellness empowerment fair as we mobilize communities, giving thanks for Sister PJ, Empress Blue, Victoria, Adrian, all the Powerful Pioneer members for sharing. Giving thanks for everyone who came on in support today. You know, we do this for the people, you know, so don't hesitate to tell a friend, tell a family to join. This is actually, PJ, this is part 3. When I was doing the playback, this is our 3rd health and wealth fair. The first one we did was an adult one. It was about 3 hours. The second one, we did a 5-hour session, still working on that video. That one was a powerhouse, and this is the 3rd installment. So, you know, 3 represent understanding, supreme mathematics, giving thanks. So having an understanding of what we're doing is about applying all these different information in real time. So one of the things I want to share, and I'll definitely talk about the Alkaline Lifestyle workshop a little more later for the second part of this session this evening. I definitely want to touch on the whole spiritual economics concept and also all of these wonderful workshops that we offer here. Again, these workshops are divine workshops. These are not just like regular workshops that we're offering from the financial empowerment. What's your frame of mind when it comes to finance? And hear me out here, because this is going to lead into this topic, this discussion I'm going to share as we proceed. So with the financial, we talk about spiritual economics and how do we utilize our spirit reality, our talents, our skills, our hobby, things that we inspire to do so we could do what we love to do. Because when you're doing what you love to do, ain't no retiring. It's inspiring. When you're doing stuff that you just trying to get paid for the time being, you're ready to retire as soon as possible so you can go on that vacation with Victoria, right? To Costa Rica, right? So when you love what you do, it don't matter where you at. You can continue to thrive and do it. And that's what we have done throughout our tour, whereas we was on tour, getting ourselves pampered and fortified, we were still bringing our business, our service, our entrepreneurship, other people's business, being a brand ambassador, practicing what we call spiritual economics. So it's important that we stay in the spirit of things, especially when it comes to our career, when it comes to business, even work opportunity, because, you know, in these times, you know, economics is, like our sister was saying, you have to understand the science of money is a science to it, just like there's a science when it comes to vending. So all these different workshops, we take time to show you the scientific aspect of it as well as the spiritual aspect, because spirit first. So yes, the frame of mind, financial empowerment, the art of vending, the science when you go out there and vending, how do you do it to get the results? The alkaline lifestyle, like my sister said, is more than just, you know, I'm eating alkaline food. It's a lifestyle. Even if you had your chicken noodle soup with the soda on the side for the day, how do you get rid of it? You want it to stay in you? The alkaline lifestyle, the self-empowerment. And these times where, like our sister was talking about, the traveling and all the different dynamics, we're not here to argue and come and debate and clash. We're here to be in harmonious vibration. And how do we do that? Be proactive. Knowledge is power. Understand private and public. Self-empowerment. The labor coach. You know, in these times, we don't have to worry about going in these people's facility and doing things. Once we're self-sufficient, we can be proactive. So all these different wonderful workshops, and we got so much others. Like, you know, if we just pour out all of the workshop, we won't stop. We already have 3 sessions already. This is part 3, and we got more. But we want to start our people with these fundamentals first. Because now when we invite, say, for example, Baba Fitzroy, 87 years young, quantum touch, omni health specialist. Oh, we can't, I mean, of course, you know, those who advance with the knowledge of the alkaline lifestyle, yeah, you could take it to that level. But if you didn't get to the basic of the alkaline lifestyle and you're trying to do quantum touch, oh, you're going to be lost in the sauce. So definitely, same thing with the book club. Before we go into the book club, for those who want to write their story, you have to understand the science of vending, the art of vending. My sister PJ created 2 books showing, and the books are used as curriculums. Sister Ebby created 3 books. So we can go all day showing you how to create your book, or you can see us in action and be inspired and created based on just the format of those who already created. So again, we have these introduction classes to lead into some of the other high power workshops that we offer as well. And all of this to say, and I just want to share this. This is my topic discussion for today. And it's all about being in the spirit of things, y'all. You see, like that sister was saying, when it comes to finance, you need to be in the spirit of it. You know, when it comes to wealth, health, you have to be in the spirit of it. You know, when it comes to opportunity, you have to be in a rhythm. So one of the things I had mentioned at one of our Sunday empowerment workshops, and this is very important because, you know, right now, you know, a lot of things that's been taking place in the past, ain't nothing changed. I mean, of course, you may have, you know, upgraded technology-wise, but it's still the fundamental of what our elders been telling us. So as we honor our elders, our fathers and mothers, our grandparents, we can know a lot of these basic fundamentals and apply it to some of the new principles that we learn in these times. There was a story, and I'm going to get a little spiritual with it, because, again, we're talking about spiritual economics, y'all. And when we talk about this in our workshop, we say, what is your mindset when it comes to economics and entrepreneurship, wealth building, health building? What type of spirit do you have when it comes to this? And of course, are you physically ready? So those 3 aspects of preparing yourself so you can be in a rhythm of things. Now, one of the things that we had discussed during the Sunday Empowerment Workshop, which I think is very prevalent for this health fair discussion in relation to being in the spirit of wealth and the physical, and excuse me, y'all, I'm out here delivering as we proceed, in the spirit of wealth with the mindset of abundance, physically prepared, you know. Are you ready to hold them bags of wealth, of goodies? You know, some people need help, some people need a cart, some people need a vehicle. All of these aspects. Are you preparing yourself for what's to come? So now one of the things, I think I had this discussion too with one of our sisters, and I had to go back into the root, because when we talk about finance, economics, wealth building, career building, we go into the root, the fundamental, the root of things. So when I was building on the Sunday Empowerment, we was talking about the root of creation from the biblical standpoint of the whole Adam and Eve thing, and how they birthed 2 twins. And this is important, y'all, with this career building. I'm going to share something with y'all. Make notes. Now, of course, you know, for those who understand the science of the whole Adam and Eve story and whatnot, of them birthing twins of boys and twins, girls, they don't really talk about the story of the ladies, and that's very important, because this is one of the first aspects of economics. You know, when we talk about minding our business, how do we do business? Business is a spiritual thing first before it becomes physical. A lot of our people, what we see out there, they burning out their physical, lifting up all these things, doing so much physical jobs that spiritually they burnt out. So it's spirit first. So when we look at these 2 aspects of these twins being born, the Cain and Abel, and then the ladies, you're going to go into the masculine aspect, because that's another thing. They don't really talk about the feminine aspect of that story, but they talk about the masculine. Now, Cain and Abel, that whole principle and that science is so important, because it goes back to the parent, the mother, the womb man. And this is why it's important for our women, especially during these times when we talk about career building. Not only, of course, we want to inspire moms to become natural entrepreneurs, but we don't want to take the moms out of her position as maintaining a household. There's a lot of career moms who may miss out on the opportunity of growing and building with their family. And this is why Powerful Pioneer encourage family business, because, you know, it's all about who benefiting. The children benefiting from everything we do. So in that principle of the birthing of the 2 male figures, and again, I might go a little sideways here. Y'all do your homework and research. Feel free. But I'm sharing something, the principle I'm sharing here. During that time of Eve, so-called partaking, you know, when we talk about the whole mindset of birthing or embarking 2 types of energies in you into the womb, This is why they say, how could one man and woman move optimally if they're messed up physically? How can one move optimally if they messed up mentally or even spiritually? So in that case, there were two nations, just like with Jacob and Esau and Eve, from the whole science of the serpent. We'll talk about that on Sunday. Stay tuned on Black Friday. We'll elaborate. And then of Abel. And when we look at Cain, Cain represents the aspect of have to sacrifice all this extra stuff to gain, working extremely hard to gain. When Abel represents just being one with nature and offering it sincerely. And one is able to receive abundantly from this being in tune with nature, moving in the rhythm of the spirit of things. What's your talent? What's your skills? What's your hobby? Apply that. While his brother was more into, oh man, if I have to slay this animal just to show, if I have to gush out all these things just to show, I'm going to show that. And in reality, that jealousy, and this is why another reason why we inspire others. And Pioneer, we said we must learn, earn, and return. You might see a sister or a brother in Pioneers who earning beautifully. It's not for one to get jealous, envious, or anything. Sit down and come and learn with us. We take these time to educate on these fundamental workshops so you can learn, and then you can add on by earning. But most people want to earn and don't even know what they're earning, and then don't know how to return it. So we see the same signs of the next generation being envious because they never got a chance to understand that fundamental. So instead of one humbly, and these are brothers here, instead of one learning from each other since they're from the same bloodline, what happened? We know the story, Cain, slay Abel, and all that extra stuff. And again, this is the same thing that's going on in these times. So why I'm saying this is, when we understand the spiritual aspect of wealth, financial building, spiritual economics, what are some of the talents you have? What are some of the things that naturally you're born to do? You know, what's your purpose? Who are you? How you plan to fulfill your purpose? And now if you're moving in your purpose, not only you can be able to naturally generate from it, but you can inspire people to learn from you divinely. And there's a lot of that Cain spirit in our people, that Cain and Abel. It plays off all the time. Matter of fact, and I'll leave you with this and I'll pass it back. When we look at that whole story biblically, look what's happening right now. One of the movies, one of the big shows that's out is Raising Canaan, one of the shows with 50 Cent. And look at that whole story of raising Canaan, raising that same energy of envious, jealousy. Instead of raising Abel, we're supposed to be raising more Abels because we are able to do this ourselves. So definitely check out that science with the whole Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel. Read that. I think that's very fundamental, especially when we talk about business. Business entrepreneurship is a spiritual thing first. When we forget the spiritual aspect and we just go out there, and we see that when we go to these events, Pioneers. We just had a wonderful event on Sunday. And, you know, even the events we have, and when we see people just come out there, put their table, their face look upset, ain't nothing happening. You can see they probably didn't even do no meditation before they got there. They didn't even pray up there in Palo Santo the place. They didn't greet no one. They didn't give no samples. They didn't serve nobody with love. They just set up and looking at everybody who passing by with upset face. Like, you ain't buying? That's not how it works. Spirit first. So with that being said, family, yes, we're about to do some powerful things. We give thanks. Everyone who participated today, take the opportunity to join these sacred workshops. Tell a friend, tell a family who may need. And tonight, we're going to go in. Tonight, this is just a preview I'm sharing. Tonight, we're going to go in. Pass it to you, PJ.
Man, but you have no idea. I'm going to bring it full circle. Because, and that's what's so amazing about having children, and anyone that has children will probably agree with me. This morning on the way walking my son to school, he said something about twins. I can't even remember what he said about twins, but he said something, oh, that's interesting. You know, did you know something about twins? And I said, okay, cool. I look over on the back of a car, it says, like twin, like mother of twins or something, like apparently like one of the parents there had twins. And I'm like, wow, 2 times? And I'm like, and I'm on a spiritual journey for the last 2 years, but sometimes I don't know everything. I'm still learning. So I'm like, what does twins mean? And that was 2 times. I said, wow, Most High, that's very interesting. And then now, Brother Rojo, you coming and talking about twins. Amazing. I'm always like a little child, like, oh my God, did you see that? Did you hear that? So I know, yeah, we gonna go
Me
into
too,
that.
PJ. Me too, girl. Yes. They could be right there in your face, the signs, like, and you have to just pay attention.
Yeah. So something about twins, I'm gonna definitely do my research, but I think that it's just right here, just manifesting and just being together and just being kind of in sync. We've been working together, we've been building, we've been bonding, we've been growing together. So it's only natural. It's like when women start living together, what happens? When women are best friends, what happens?
That cycle starts sinking. Yes.
What's happening? Because nothing is by accident. Everything is on purpose. Everything is in divine order. And I think that was another example of that. So that's 3 times with the twin symbology coming to me today and coming to us today.
Divine number.
Too. That knowledge, wisdom, right? So we're on wisdom right now. So we 2 right now. We're about to be 3. We're about to just elevate. That is just so amazing. I give thanks to see, just to be in a space like this, right? To do divine work is really humbling. And I thank the Most High every day. Like, thank you for choosing me. Thank you for calling me, because many are called and few are chosen. So when you're part of the chosen few, it's okay to fall and to stumble and to have challenges, right? It's how we get back up. And all of us know about that. Every single here on this call knows about getting back up and doing our best and putting our best face forward every single day. So I give thanks. I give thanks for that, that I'm a part of a network like this. I keep saying, when the pandemic hit, I was just so happy to be in a community that was empowered, that was scared, it didn't have a lot of, fear mongering, and everybody was just so grounded. Everybody was like, all right, what we're going to do next for this business? They're saying that stuff changes, stuff switching up. All right, we have a digital platform. We're going to take all of the events and everything we were going to do in person, and we're going to put it online. We're going to put it on Blackstream.live. And that's what we did. We ran virtual malls, whole weekends. It was amazing, the businesses that came out to share and were just ready for this shift. We didn't miss a beat. We ain't missed out 1 beat.
Facts. We was on tour, girl. And everybody was like, don't travel. It was like, look, we are led by the Spirit. We are powerful. We moving all that out of our way spiritually. We ain't worried about nothing. And no one was sick. We really got out there and we did the work, and we helped people to heal, and with moving with that courage and, giving that fear to our divine selves moves mountains. And we did that. Yeah, we did that.
That's really important, because nothing can hold it. Nothing can stop us. Nothing is supposed to stop us. So once we realize that we're on a journey, and, we work for the most powerful source in the whole universe, the Creator, and we are being divinely guided by the Creator, there's really, nothing to fear. Right? Then we get into that space. We get into a little bit, we talk about biblical, we get into a little Psalm 23. What is there to fear? When you're anointed, when you're being led, and you're genuine in that, in terms of wanting to be led and being led. We have a choice. We can, just, jump off, the ledge, jump off our, divine trail right? We have the trail, we're going down on it, but at any moment we can say, you know what, I don't like this. I'm gonna go down a different trail. But we choose to be guided. We choose to be on that trail, on that journey. And for that, we are rewarded. And I just want to spread that information. I want to spread that knowledge, because from, where I came from, I've always been spiritual, grew up in the church, family, very spiritual, just very dedicated. Like to this day, my mom doesn't miss a Sunday, virtual, go, whatever. It's like, just not missing a Sunday, So I grew up like that. And I'm learning every single day. But one of the one things that I have realized through my journey is that when you submit, when you are genuinely happy to be led, and you allow yourself to be led, and you allow your divine self to really shine through, some amazing things happen. Things that you didn't think you can accomplish become so easy to you. So I want to get that information out there. And so one of our other highlighted courses is spiritual economics. Myself, Empress Blue, and Brother Rojo are the presenters of this course. And it's kind of like an elective, it's kind of like an add-on course to the other courses. Just being supported, if you are being certified as a doula, you want to understand how to create a spiritual base around that business, right? Because you want to come really sincere. You want to come as a whole person. You want to come spiritually grounded so that you can impart that to both mother and child, or children. In the case of twins, right? You can't forget the twins and the triplets and all that. You want to be spiritually grounded. You want to be a leader, spiritual leader, so that you can offer guidance, because sometimes things can, women were literally putting our lives on the line, to bring forth a new life. So you want to be super grounded in that and want to understand your purpose in that. If you're led to that and that's your role, you have to understand why and what purpose that serves to the larger community, to understand that one of the most, miraculous things that happen on this earth is in your hands, right? So, people's health is in your hands. So you want to make sure that you have the spiritual fortification for all that responsibility. If we talk about the Alkaline lifestyle class, again, it's not just about the diet and what you're eating, what you're ingesting, but also the spiritual aspect. Like, we observe Brother Rojo, and he's vending in a space. Every single person is going to get 5 tonics, pre-pandemic, like just natural. Like everybody gonna get this healing. I don't care if you buy from me or not, you're going to leave here. And it's because he understands his purpose as a healer. Is understanding his purpose in his business. He's doing business, you want to make sales, you want to promote your product, but also there's a real purpose behind his business, and that is to heal. So even if you didn't get nothing, you ain't drink no water that day, nothing. You just got, fortified, got some nutrients in your system, and he's happy with just that. Even if he doesn't make a sale, I've seen this brother not make no sales. I say, let me make sure you get your iron tonic, because it's bigger than that. Even when we talk about learning art of vending and just vending regular products, you got a paparazzi jewelry vendor. How are you relating to people? Are you throwing their stuff in a bag? Are you just, grabbing whatever and just saying here? Or are you taking the time to get to know the customer, give them a smile, compliment them, tell them that, the items that they bought is going to, be great for them in their life. You ever buy from that vendor and you're just so happy for that purchase? Like you really felt like you got some Chanel or something. And you're like, ooh, I got this. Because they just made you feel so good, because they understand it's not about the jewelry. It's about connecting with another individual, another human being. And I think that once we elevate all of our businesses, once we get all business owners to understand that it's not just about making money, it's not just about the statistics of, how many Black businesses are being owned and, how well those Black businesses are doing. That's important. But also, how did your customers leave your establishment? Or how did they feel after they utilized your services? Did it really fortify them? Did it do something for their life? Or was it just a sale? Was it just an invoice number? Because we know those, like even the tax person, my father did taxes for many years. And there were people that always came to him. And when he started saying, listen, I can't do taxes anymore. I mean, these people were literally begging him. Literally, like on their hands and knees, like, please do my taxes. Because his work was powerful. It wasn't just about doing the taxes. They wanted him to do the taxes. And that's what oftentimes you'll find out, that people are really buying from you. People are really engaging with your services and your products because of you. Because they can go and get paparazzi jewelry from anywhere. But they came to that event because of the promoter or the producer, and they came to your table because of you. And this is the information. This is what we want to spread through our courses, through our network, through our support. So you don't have to purchase any courses or anything like that. Again, to be a part of the community, you can sign up for free and have a free profile on smartmoneyuniversity.org. You can join the Telegram group on Telegram, look up Powerful Pioneers and join the group and get this information and connect with amazing people. You definitely will not regret it. Like, it's just so powerful. It's just so positive. So please, tell people about us, tell people about this particular event. Will be back on at 8:00. Same link. So please do share that with your network. And, let's all just become the very best that we can. We have powerful people here, powerful people to connect with their business. Powerful Pioneers is a B2B, it's a business to business service network. So as a powerful individual, as a powerful person in the community, in the business community, you can connect with other powerful people and do other powerful things. So please, I do encourage everyone, if you're not a member yet of Powerful Pioneers, become a member. If you haven't yet signed up with Smart Money University to just be a community member, you can sign up, of course, to take one of our courses. And you can sign up as well as a presenter if you have something that you would like to offer through the network. I also want to point out that there are business opportunities as a part of Smart Money University. So we have the courses, we have opportunities, and we also have services. Our business opportunities include cryptocurrency and blockchain. We have several platforms in the crypto space that you can engage in. We have our brother Megbegwe, who teaches about Bitcoin. He has a book, A Pot to Piss In, really explicit, like about, what has happened from so many generations being removed from the money system. And cryptocurrency really puts the money back, really puts the power back into the people's hands when we think about currency, how we think about money. So it really shifted, right? It shifted, it created a whole new currency. Who could have thought that you can just, and I take it on as an invention, right? Because a lot of people are like, how could they create a new currency? It's, preposterous. But there's been new currencies throughout history, right? We used to use carousels. People were using carousels. People were using gold and silver. If you gave somebody a piece of paper and put a 1 on it back in the day, they're looking at you like, what is this? Where's the gold? I need to put that in my teeth and make sure it's real before you get my product, And so people had to shift. There's been a number of shifts when we talk about currency and we talk about money, right? Because this system took years, generations to develop. So now this is the newest installment in this whole money game. cryptocurrency, digital currency, and the technology of blockchain is really going to change it has been changing the world, and is going to continue to do so. And again, just like the other money systems, it's, quite complicated. It's not the easiest, thing. It's a new technology. So you want to, know about it and get educated on it. And that's what the brother does with, I'm going to get the name of his company. Apologize for not having it on hand. He has a WhatsApp group that he provides a lot of information. Just gonna go in the group here. Crypto Woke. The Crypto Woke Finance Group. All right. He was recently featured on African Ancestry Live for the work that he is doing. And again, his book, A Pot to Piss In, going over our experience, our community's experience with money, and how cryptocurrency is going to change that. I was hoping to get his, yes. Oh, no, sorry. I thought that his website was here, but it's a bit.ly, it's like one of those short URLs. But if you're on, I know he's on Facebook and Instagram. So if you look up hashtag crypto woke, you will be able to find more about what the brother is doing. And we also have Brother Raymond and the Keystone group with the KOK coin, and also Hyperfund. And those two last ones are get paid daily programs, where you are paid daily for your membership and into these organizations that support the development of the blockchain technology. So very new, very, avant-garde in terms of, where this money system is going to go. So I just really encourage people to just at least know about it, just at least understand the gist of it, because it is going to be a bigger part of our lives soon. The next business opportunity that we have, and of course, those are business opportunities in terms of becoming members of those cryptocurrency organizations. You can earn a return every day by joining those platforms. And we have dedicated calls for those platforms, and you can definitely join on smartmoneyuniversity.org for our newsletter to get more information, and visit our website, of course. The next business opportunity is Juice Plus and the Tower Garden. Amazing, amazing, amazing to be able to grow fresh fruits and vegetables in your home in a tower garden, no dirt, technology, again, using hydroponics, using a hydroponic system in order to grow the food on a tower, growing vertically. So you can really grow anywhere. You can use it indoor or outdoors. And also Juice Plus offers a number of different supplements, all really great stuff, high impact supplements for the body, for support of the immune system and all the different bodily functions. But really, important right now that we have that that support in our system. And they have vegan chewables, and my son loves them, so they're great for children. Adults can take them too, but they're also great for children. We also have the Kagan water opportunity to become a Kagan water distributor. You can yourself get a Kagan water alkalinizing system. There's a word. You can alkalinize your water through the Kagan water system. And what I really like, because there's different systems, right, that can provide alkaline water. But what I really like about the Kagan water system is that it provides 3 different types of water, and it provides a sterile water. So when you are, just trying to, if you want to fill up bottles of water and things like that, and you want to make sure that it's sterile inside. I'm big into that. I love to sterilize things. So it's, a perfect system for me because it gives you sterile water and you can sterilize anything with that. So it's great if you have children and you want to sterilize the instrument, the things for them, utensils and things like that. So it's just really great. It serves more than one purpose. I think it's really great. And you can definitely be a Kagan water distributor. So with the Kagan water machine, you can either provide alkaline water to people, or you can, provide the actual filtration systems for people. So it's a really great opportunity. The next opportunity we have is the rain pads wholesaler, and rain pads are also very avant-garde. It incorporates a technology within the pad that assists women with regulating hormones. It's a substance called ranonite, and it won an award as one of the best new technologies that are available on the market. So it's an all natural pad, sanitary napkin for women, and it's just very sanitary. Let's just say that the packaging, everything just promotes the most sanitary napkin that you can buy on the market. And I think that is, I think that's really wonderful. We want to make sure that whatever we're using is at the highest quality. So Rain is definitely that, and I highly recommend it. And you can become a rain pad wholesaler, and it can be used in different ways. They set it up for you. You can do it as a fundraiser. You can work with different organizations, providing rain pads to those that may be in need of support in that area. So just a really great program. I really recommend everyone to check it out, because that's an industry that's not going anywhere either. Women will always need sanitary napkins. So really great opportunity there. And the last business opportunity we have is to become a Luna Lane clothing brand ambassador and part of the sales team. Each ambassador receives their own promo code, and to be able to gain commission off of selling items from the Luna Lane clothing brand's shopping network. So that is my network, my clothing brand line, and it is the only, the very unique convertible panty line. So that's one of our brands, the convertible panties. And we also have t-shirts and everyday wear, but our main staple product is the convertible panty, converts from a full panty to a thong. And we also have, we have a couple of models. We have the 2-in-1 from panty to a thong or G-string. We have that model as well. And we have a 3-in-1 model that allows you to go through all three of those different variety of women's underwear. Really great product and really exciting. So we are always looking for people to join that team. So great opportunity, especially with the holiday season coming up right now. So those are our business opportunities. And I want to just make sure to mention our services. Overlaps a little bit with our courses, but if you want to just take like one-on-one, you just want our network to help you outside of the conference of the class, you can go on your own schedule and get service directly. So you can get the credit building and restoration services through Brother Murray, where he'll go through your credit and help you restore and build for both personal and business. Another service that we offer is financial education and money strategies, and that's offered by Brother Raymond, and just really comprehensive about financial education, financial literacy, is helping you to understand things like wills, trusts, insurance, other financial tools that are important for personal and business as well. And also as a one-on-one with Brother Raymond is the tax-free income and tax strategies, where he'll, go over all the ways that you can implement tax-free income strategies, or not only just like your income, but transitioning if you have tax exposed money. Most people put their money in places that are taxable. If you use them, if you take them out, if you withdraw and things like that, you have to pay the taxes on it. But there are many instances, many ways that you can avoid this taxation on your money, right? Your hard-earned money. So it's really great. He can go over on a one-on-one case basis and look at your financial situation and make recommendations. So those are the 3 services that are offered through Smart Money University. There are many courses. We don't have time to go through all of them in depth. We did talk about a few, but I want to mention also that we do have a book writing and publishing class. We have a Blackstream.live mastermind training if you want to maximize your Blackstream.live platform. We also have a course, Common Law and Civil Education, presented by Brother Rojo. So that is everything through the Smart Money University platform. Let me mention the other courses through the Powerful Pioneers platform. Go to powerfulpioneers.com/learning-lab, or go to the Learning Lab tab on the website, powerfulpioneers.com. And some overlap here with the obviously we have to have the Alkaline lifestyle in the Powerful University, run by founder Brother Rojo. We also have the self-empowerment course, as I mentioned earlier, the Book and Authors Club, and also we have the Financial Empowerment 7-part course that will go, from top to bottom, from A to Z, everything that has to do with money and money strategies. There are a few presenters in this course. One of them is Brother Raymond, and another is Brother Lionel. Really great comprehensive course. I mean, you'll walk out of there an expert on money and financial, and just the whole financial industry. Very highly recommended course. And you can also take the Birthing Doula workshop on the Powerful University platform. All right. So that is everything. I thank you all for being with us. If anyone has anything you want to share, any comments, questions, I'll open the floor quickly before we close out at 2 p.m.
I just wanted to say awesome job. Got some great information today. I was happy to present, but it's also great to receive the not only the information, but the love, the support, like the spirit, the positive energy flowing. So I think it's so important, what you have here, and I'm going to support and let folks know that you're out here so they can support too. Giving thanks.
Giving thanks, sis. I appreciate that. Yes. So great to have the family on, and, the support of everyone. We're coming together. We're going to put this on YouTube and make sure that we, spread this more. It'll be on Telegram. It'll be on Blackstream.live as well, for the Black streamers, the Blackstream community. We want to make sure that we are getting this out there. The word has to just be everywhere, especially throughout this season, right? I'm sure a lot of people are going to be traveling, and people, want to utilize that as maybe a second or third income generator. So really great. I encourage everyone to go on and all of our sites and follow up as much as possible. I know everybody needs a trip, so everybody should be calling Victoria, especially throughout this season. There's survival kits through the Powerful Pioneers Health Ministries as well. You can reach out for that. Get hands-on services, hands-on healing services, as well as tonics and things to fortify the immune system throughout this season. The floor is open if anyone else would like to share. Okay, if not, thank you once again for being a part of the health and welfare, which was supposed to be part 2, but it's really part 3. Make sure to come back for part 4 and, continue to build with us on this journey of health and wealth. Giving thanks, everyone. Have a blessed and amazing day.